are here. Okay, so Dr. Juliana and also Dr. Sharinas and also the student also here already. Okay, before we start, maybe we can recite the Al-Fatihah first. Okay. Bismillah. Alright. Okay, so for this session is for PhD proposal defense. Okay, under student Joni I Dewa. Okay, Madi Adi Baskara. Okay, his title is ICT Adoption Framework in the Smart Banjar Concept by synergizing the existing micro enterprises, microfinance and the Banjar institution. And his supervisors are Professor Dr. Samsul Anwar bin Muhtar and Dr. Bazilah binti Haji Abdul Latif A. Talib as a co-supervisor. So the assessor for this session is Dr. Sharinas Ismail and also Dr. Juliana Jaafar. Okay, just bear in mind for the proposal defense guideline, the session time is about 1 hour. Presentation time should not exceed more than 25 minutes, and we will follow after that with the question and answers with the panels and students. Okay, without further ado, I'll give this floor to our student, Johnny. Okay, you can start sharing your slide, yeah?
Okay. Okay, is my screen is appears? Do you can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yes, clear.
I start my presentation right now. Good afternoon. I convey to my supervisor, Prof. Sam and Dr. Basilah. Good afternoon to the assessors, Dr. Sharinas Ismail and Dr. Juliana Jaafar. Thanks to the MIT program coordinator who organized this proposal defense. I am Idewa Made Adi Baskara Joni, or you can call me Dewa Adi. Today I will present my proposal entitled ICT Adoption Framework in the Smart Banjar Concept by synergizing the existing microenterprises, microfinance, and the Banjar institution. Before I explain more about the research that I will do, I would like to invite you to all to tour around Indonesia regarding to the structure of government in Indonesia. In the highest level is the country. Indonesia is a country of 17,491 islands. Under the country, we have a structure of government, we call it provinces. Indonesia have 34 provinces in Indonesia, and Bali is one of the provinces in Indonesia. Under the provinces, we have the regency or cities. Bali, one of the province in Bali province, we have 9 regency. And in this example, the picture is Gianyar Regency. This is my hometown. Under the regencies or cities, we have the district. For example, Gianyar Regency divided into 7 districts. And under the level of district, we have village. And this is example again from Gianyar Regency. We have 70 villages. And the lowest level of government structure under the village is the Banjar. Bali is unique. The government system that at the village and Banjar levels has a duality. Customary government and official government. The system is not a dualism, so the system goes together. Customary governance takes care of matter of tradition, custom, religion. The official government takes care of official matter related to government structure above it, up to the central level. Currently, there are 4,678 traditional Banjar or customary Banjar and 3,853 official Banjar in Bali. To summarize the explanation above I made, the following is a hierarchical diagram of the structure of government in Indonesia. The highest structure is the country, Indonesia. Under that, we have province. Indonesian have 34 province. Bali is one of province in Indonesia. Under the province, we have regency, 9 in Bali. Under the regency, we have district. One regency in Bali, we call it Gianyar, have 7 district. Under the district, we have a village. For this example, Sukawati district have 12 village. And the lowest level of government, we call it Banjar. For this example, Desa Batuan or Batuan village have 17 villages. This is the background of the study of this research. The lowest level of government under the village is the Banjar, led by Clan Banjar. The Banjar is a local genius from Balinese ancestor who have existed since 10th century. In its development, even though it's a relic of the past, Banjar continues to adapt to the times. The Banjar, especially in those in urban areas or tourism areas, has Bali Banjar expanding their function for economic activities. For examples, there are Banjar that has a modern mini market, rent for ATM machines, and even schools. Tourism in Bali is famous in indigenous culture. Bali gross domestic product in 2019 was dominated by tourism sector with a contribution of 23.6%. As we know, affected by COVID-19 pandemic, the economy of Bali in the first 3 months in Q1 of 2020 experienced negative growth of -1.14%. This is the first time Bali has recorded negative growth in the last 10 until 20 years. A survey revealed that the Balinese people, 66.53% experienced a decrease in income and 81.82% state that their saving began to decrease. As many as 50.83% stated that they had difficulty to getting food. In dealing with this problem, the government of Bali is collaborating with the village government, especially customary village and official village, in the prevention and treatment of the COVID-19 pandemic in Bali. The welfare of people in Bali is uneven. There are still many people whose economic conditions are lacking and even classified as poor. The cause is programs in the Banjar government have lacked integration with existing programs in micro-enterprise and microfinance institutions. To solve this, the role of the Banjar needs to be enhanced in order to maintain the resilience of the Balinese people in the economy. Based on the background study above, I highlighted 3 problem statements. The first is reliance on external parties for basic needs. This is about the transactions that occur to meet the basic needs of the community are not well managed, the current condition. Second, limited synergy and collaboration. The synergy of microenterprise, microfinance, and the Banjar is very limited in strengthening the economy of the community. The last, limited use of ICT as an enabler for the synergy. So, the aim of this research is to develop the Smart Banjar framework that allows the synergy of microenterprise, microfinance, and the Banjar using ICT as an enabler to reduce the reliance on external parties for the basic needs of community. Furthermore, these are the research question and the research objective in this study. First, the RQ1 is what are the important elements in the Smart Banjar framework. And the research objective that correspond with the RQ1 is to identify elements that forms the Smart Banjar framework. RQ2 is how would the framework be constructed to allow the synergy of microenterprise, microfinance within the Banjar structure to support the community economy. Correspond with this, RO2 is to develop the framework to allow the synergy of microenterprise and microfinance within the Banjar structure to support the community's economy. The last RQ3 is how can ICT be adopted to allow the operationalization of the framework. And the RO3 is to adopt ICT for the operationalization of the framework as proof of concept. Furthermore, in this slide, I would like to explain that in this study, there are 3 areas to focus on. The scope of this research is the synergy of microenterprise, microfinance, and the Banjar. To make it easier to pronounce, I call it Smart Banjar. This research has significance and contribution, namely in the body of knowledge and practice. To knowledge, this research will contribute to related to the synergies between microenterprise and microfinance institution integrated with the Banjar in Indonesia. To the practice world, this research will contribute to operationalize framework that allows the synergy of microenterprise, microfinance, and the Banjar that can help reduce the poverty in Indonesia. A set of various recent studies has been carried out to gain knowledge that can support solving the problems being studied. Searching is carried out by search for research article in various databases. These databases include IEEE, EBSCOhost, Google Scholar, and Science Direct. Based on such research, 28 studies related to the aspect or elements of the Smart Banjar were obtained. And these are the mapping of the area of or the concepts. Those 28 articles are mapping in several concepts. A is the Banjar, B is the microenterprise, C is microfinance, D is intersect of the Banjar and microenterprise, E microenterprise and microfinance, F is the microfinance and the Banjar. Smart concept can be developed according to the characteristic of the region that will become the locus. The smart concept is not only intended to solve urban problems, but can also be developed for rural areas. We often hear the terms and a lot of research about smart city. The concept of smart city can also be developed to solve problems in rural areas. The concept of smart city can be applied in smaller or larger scope or scale. So that if applied in Indonesia, the smart concept can started from the smallest scope, namely smart village, after that smart district, and etc. As the foundation for the basis of the development of Smart Banjar, the research of smart village is used. This is, I used 5 studies in the topic of smart village as follows. Start from 2018 until 2021. Various authors define smart village differently, as well as you can see on the screen. From these studies, I used it as a theoretical framework to build a conceptual framework. This is theoretical framework about smart village I used from Aziza and Susanto to 2020. They developed a smart village with 6 dimensions. The smart village model or framework analyzed based on 6 smart city mission of Banyuwangi Regency. I got the theoretical framework from the about rural smartness from Mukti et al. 2021. They said rural smartness has a mediating effect on the economic welfare of rural citizens through its positive influence on the competitiveness and innovativeness of rural business entities. This is theoretical framework about smart village concept. I got from Ella and Andari 2018, 2019, and Andari and Ella 2019. They have the same smart village model, about 5 dimensions of smart village. Another theoretical framework about the smart village collaborative model from Ella and Andari 2018. The implementation of smart village in Indonesia highly depend on the governance model that able to implement formulate strategies. There is advisory board, there is a village with a village government and villagers and essential services. Another research about smart village collaborative model is from Andari and Ella 2019. The main actor in smart rural, this is a little bit different. Before is a smart village, this is a smart rural. Smart rural development are the village government, village entrepreneur, and the village communities. Many villages inside there, together with the inter-village corporation agency. So there is agency, we call it inter-village agency, corporation agency in the middle of the village. Theoretical framework about the ICT indicators in building smart village model from Ella and Andari 2019. Before their research before there is in the technology dimension there are dimension about ICT and appropriate technology. Further in this research they introduced the appropriate technology have 2 dimensions, ICT and non-ICT. There are various theories regarding technology adoption. TPB, TAM, and UTAU theories are the most frequently used model or frameworks. However, these theories are used to analyze the technology adoption process at the individual level. At the organization level, the technology adoption process, 3 theories are often used, namely DOI, TOE, and IT. This table shows the level of relevance of existing technology adoption theories. TOE is a theory that is considered to have the most relevant in this research. This is the TOE framework from Tornatsky and Fliessers in 1990. These are the justification that I made why I choose TOE as the theoretical framework. First, the smart Banjar concept involves the Banjar structure, micro-enterprise, and the microfinance to work together. TOE is a suitable framework for applying a technological innovation that involves internal and external organization. The TOE framework has been used in various studies related to the topic of smart village, smart rural, and smart city. The TOE framework is also used to analyze the readiness to adopt new technologies that require synergy between the community, government, and professionals who manage this innovation. The last justification, assumption, why I choose TOE is the context of technology, organization, and environment is considered comprehensive to cover all smart Banjar concept elements. Next, I will explain the conceptual framework that I have built based on a literature review. This conceptual framework is Smart Banjar version 1.0. This is the technological context framework. The theoretical framework used is from Ella and Andari 2019. And implementation of ICT. The entities or components are ICT infrastructure, ICT literacy, and ICT services. I adopted these 3 entities into a conceptual framework, as you see on right of your screen of the slide. Then I further explored and analyzed the three entities against the elements in the research of Ella and Anari 2019, Aziza and Susanto 2020, and Mukti et al. 2021. Next, I classified it into several components, such as internet networks, internet users, digital device ownerships, ICT use, essential services, local economic potential-based services, electrical reliability, and strategic guidelines. Finally, it is a conceptual framework from the technological context. As you've seen, there is entities about ICT infrastructure, ICT services, and ICT literacy with its elements or components. For the organizational context, a theoretical framework was taken from Andari and Ella 2019. Each village has a villagers and village businessmen who can collaborate with other villages. This can be done by involving an inter-village cooperation agency. The framework was adapted into the framework. The village government oversees several banjar under it. Then, collaboration of resources of each banjar can be carried out. Every micro enterprise in each banjar can improve its performance when it can run banjar. Of course, with the support of microfinance to strengthen the support of financial resources. The following is the environmental context of TOE framework. The theoretical framework is taken from Andari and Ella 2019 and Ella and Andari 2018. The environment context adopted from theoretical framework without change. In the environmental context, there is an advisory board. The advisory board will play an active role in the formulation of policies that promote good governance in the Smart Banjar concept. This is the conceptual framework of Smart Banjar version 1.0. Advisory board is an environmental context that will form the policies in the Smart Banjar framework. Organizational context will synergize microenterprise, microfinance, and Banjar. The technological context will support Smart Banjar to achieve its goals. It can happen with the existence of ICT infrastructure, ICT services, and ICT literacy with their respective components. I will explain the research philosophy and approaches as my perspective on the research to be carried out. Smart Banjar concept has never existed before. So it must be shaped to suit the conditions, wants, and needs of the community. This can only be done if it involves participation, action in the research. Based on this, the philosophy used in this research is pragmatism. Based on the research philosophy, in the research approach used in this study is the abductive approach. This approach is considered the most suitable to be used to answer questions and achieve these research objectives. Abductive approach aims to understand things in a new way from the perspective of new conceptual framework. The data to be collected is data obtained in a natural environment where the research problem is studied. Our form of data collected will depend on the interpretation made. Various data sources deemed necessary will be studied to support this research. Because of that, the methodology used in this research is mixed method, primarily convergent. Based on the methodology chosen and the research strategy that has been determined, the data collection techniques to be carried out are interviews, questionnaire, and observations. And of course, the data analysis will be using the qualitative and quantitative technique. This is the research design about 4 stages of this research. This is the first stage, conceptualization of framework. At this stage, the strategy is carried out through a literature review. There are two main activities that are carried out, namely, the first, identifying the main entities or element of the framework. Second, we will identifying relationship between the entities and elements. The outcome of this first stage is framework version 1. This is the second stage. I'm sorry if the image looks unclear. The strategy to be implemented is action research, which will be focused on micro enterprise area in this second stage. There are 5 main activities that will be carried out, namely diagnosing, action planning, action taking, evaluating, and specify learning. In particular, what I can explain is that the change target determined in this second stage are product displays, stock management, transactions, and payments by building an artifacts and training. Outcome from this stage are the conceptual framework of micro enterprise, the artifacts, and also framework version 2. This is the third stage of my research. The strategy to be implemented is action research, which will be focused on the microfinance area. As previously, there are 5 main activities that will be carried out. I can explain is that the change target determined in this stage, third stage is membership management, credit distribution, and profit sharing. The outcome is a conceptual framework of microfinance, the artifacts, and framework version 3. This is the last stage, fourth stage. The strategy to be implemented is action research will be focused on Banjar area. Like on the second and third stage, there are 5 main activities that will be carried out. In particular, what I can explain is that the change target determined in this fourth stage are data management, decision making, and community member benefits by building an artifact or training. Outcomes from the stage are the conceptual framework of the Banjar, the artifacts, and framework version 4. That is all that I can explain about my research. I need some direction and suggestion from the panel of assessors so that this research can be even better. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you so much to the student. Okay, now is the session of Q&A from the panel of assessor. Okay, all over to you.
Okay. Hi Johnny, Dewadi. How
Hello,
should I address you, Dewadi or Johnny?
Dewadi.
Dewadi.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dewadi, just want to ask a few questions for you. By the way, it's a very good presentation, very clear. After browsing through your thesis, it was a little bit like too much of text. 84 pages is like too long for me to read. But listening to your presentation, it was much more clearer and it's according to a good flow, which is good. Thank you for that. Okay, I just want to ask you, did you do the method that you that you performed during your literature review? Did you follow a systematic literature review or just a random keyword and compiling all the information, or how?
I tried to do structured literature review. I start with the 3 elements or 3 concepts that I must search to build the smart Banjar. There are Banjar, microfinance, and the micro enterprise.
It is quite fortunate for you that there are so many literature on Indonesian region studies, which is very good. Okay. All right. May I know at what stage are you at now in data collection? Have you started interview or observation or?
Oh, I'm still at the first stage in my research design I presented before. I do the literature review and build the conceptual framework.
Okay, so your conceptual framework is basically plug and play lah. EONT, am I right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
100% from literature.
All right, understand. How many cycles of version do you expect from this? 3, 5?
After discussion with my supervisor, we decide to have 4 version.
Okay.
I already finished the first version from the literature.
All right. Okay. Okay, you haven't done the interview yet. Have you gone through the details in planning how to record observation data, because you have observation data collection as well?
Yes, doctor. I designed to record the observation data, but just in general. I made the
What kind of observation data are you looking at? Is it technology usage or the Banjar people themselves, how they do business or something? Because I'm not so sure what the detail yet.
The observation I designed for the observation that I will do is because the strategy of my research is action research.
Okay.
I will start in this research problems is from the Banjar. So all the stakeholder from the Banjar will be a participant of the observation.
Okay. Can I say that you are doing 2 in 1, interview and observation together?
Not. For no, not. I do observation for get the data. How it currently how it the transaction, the life of the communities. They do the transaction in micro enterprise. How about the microfinance outside there? About that that observation. After that, I will do the interview to the head of Banjar, head of village, and maybe I choose several micro enterprise and the microfinance institution.
Okay. Are you focusing on 1 Banjar or 2 or 3 Banjar?
Okay. I have dealt with one village. One village. That village have 4 Banjar.
Okay.
Maybe that's a pilot. We can do. We can say this is the pilot study. This head of village is agree with me to do this research together.
Okay. So can I say that your pilot study will include the interview and observation, and then your questionnaire survey will be the one that will validate your model? Is that your idea or not yet planned?
The questionnaire, maybe I will use the tool questionnaire as a tools after the artifact, the ICT tools, the IC technology that can support the synergies. So the people inside that the business owners, the microfinance management use the technology to know the technology is right or need more charts or everything. Maybe I will use the questionnaire to get their response about that.
Okay, so if your questionnaire is going to evaluate or validate the technology, meaning you are developing something on technology?
Yes, direction from my supervisor. We are philosophy doctor in IT major. So we not the IT tools is our PhD, but to get the PhD, we must give a proof of concept. The ICT tools, maybe I will build the ICT tools to as a proof of concept.
All right. So meaning you're not doing the model only, but you have something, I don't know, mobile app or something to support?
Yeah, I have planned about that. I will build ICT tools as proof of concept, so we can really know that's a good idea or not. Like that.
Okay, understand. All right, clear. You are clear about that, which is good. Okay, you somewhere in your chapter 3, you mentioned you refer to TAM model instead of TOE, but in your conceptual model, you adopt TOE. So how do you see the TAM fit in your whole model, should I say, framework development here?
Okay. At the general, at the global, I use the technology adoption framework at the organization level. I
Okay.
choose TOE. That's appropriate framework I use to design a framework in a common in a global. After that, as I explained before, we spread the element or the area of this research from 3 areas: micro enterprise, microfinance, and the Banjar. Its elements or entities have a feature in ICT tools or artifact.
Yeah.
In this part, I will evaluate the adoption of ICT. I can using the at organization level, but in individual level. So, and in this side, come up with a TAM.
Okay. Okay, never mind. I think I get what you mean. Okay. Overall, I see that you are very clear in your methodology, and I like the idea that you chose an adaptive approach and convergent mixed method, instead of just a mere triangulation, which is good. You are quite clear with your background study and all, and good luck to you. I pass to the next assessor. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
Okay. Assalamualaikum and good evening. Okay. I guess the same time. We have the same time. You are in Indonesia?
Yes, I'm in Indonesian. In Bali, same time.
Same
as
time.
well.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. It's a very clear research. I mean research direction. Okay. You have a clear background. You know the background of your studies. Okay. The method itself. Okay. I just wanted to clarify. Okay. The outcome of the framework. Who will benefit this framework?
The outcome.
Yeah. Who will benefit this framework?
The most beneficial things about this framework is the communities, because the problem statement I use in this to build this research is the people now in Bali is really fragile in economies, because their basic needs is not well managed. So the most will beneficial in this framework is the communities, the Banjar villagers.
The outcome, I mean, when the implementation of the framework, you come up with the framework and then they will apply the framework, then the community will benefit it. Correct.
Yes, I think the community the most. After that, we have the micro enterprise. The people have a business, micro business in their home. Together with this framework, they can expand their business, not just do their business outside their neighborhood, but outside their banjar or even their village, like that. The microfinance itself will be developed because their credit, their loan will be through to the exactly who need their credit, like that.
Okay, so you will use IT. You will implement IT. Okay, in your framework, you would suggest ICT in synergizing this between the microfinance, micro enterprise, right, and with the Banja. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. For the questionnaire, you will do this questionnaire to these stakeholders, right? From the micro enterprise, the microfinance, and the Banja itself.
Yes.
Okay. what are their situation? How's their adaptation or implementation of ICT in this microfinance and micro enterprise and Banja?
I'm sorry, doctor.
Because, okay, why I ask this question is because when you develop this questionnaire, okay, you need to, what I want to suggest is you need to know how their experience in using ICT.
Okay.
All right. Okay,
Yeah.
especially for the micro enterprise.
Yeah.
Because if you want to capture their adaptation to ICT, if they don't have any experience with ICT, how can they answer the questionnaire?
Yeah.
All right. So you need to, because this is more towards the rural area, right? And it's micro
Yeah.
enterprise. So this is your focus, right? So try to find, the sample of your study, appropriate sample of the studies.
Okay, doctor.
Okay. All right. And one more thing, how do you validate your framework?
I do the professional evaluation. Professional
Okay.
evaluation is more about in-action research. There is stage about the evaluation in 4 stages. I use the professional evaluator. This is not an expert, not academician like that, but the people or the element of this research will help. Like maybe the professional evaluator criteria is they are they have a micro business or the head of microfinance or the klien Banjar or head of the Banjar. I
But
use
okay, but your framework is actually synergize this between these three entities, the Banja, the micro enterprise, and the microfinance. So how do you evaluate as the synergy between these three?
from the environment context, doctor. The environment context, I use the like a village deliberation agency. That's a agency outside the structure of village. They like
Oh,
a legislative agency, like maybe research institution. Maybe I use for this professional evaluator.
all right. Okay. I guess you have some basic baseline on that, but it's just that when you approach, when you comes towards that particular stage, you need to select properly on your on how to validate on your framework.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
doctor.
I think that's all. It's a good research. Yep. I think you have a good foundation on your proposal. So good to proceed. All
Thank
the
you so much,
best.
doctor. Thank you
Okay.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, I think you have heard all the suggestion, question from all the panels. Or you have any question to ask, Johnny?
Not yet right now.
Okay. Well, actually, we are really enjoy your presentation. Okay. And I wish you all the best. Okay.
Thank you so much.
To all the panels, please submit your marking scheme to me. Just email to me. And I will get back to you, Johnny, on your result of your proposal defense. All right.
Thanks.
Till then, okay. Thank you so much to all. Okay. Yeah, we can end this session. Thank you to all the panels and student and also the supervisor. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much to everyone, to the assessors for giving a good suggestion how to improve the research. And definitely Dewadi and Dr. Bazila and me will discuss on how to actually take your recommendations into this research. Thank you very much.
Good work, supervisors.
All the best,
Yeah.
Jawadi.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
All right.
Alright, Assalamualaikum. Bye.
Bye.
Salam. Bye.